October 3rd, 2022. We'll call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Will you please stand and join me in Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We all right back there? Nobody's leaving, that's good.
What? I need to go back to that screen.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. What's the matter? Oh. We're looking at something. Elise, we call roll, please.
Councilmember Hatfield.
Here.
Councilmember Hubbard. Here. Councilmember Wong. Here. Councilmember Grau.
Here.
Mayor Winchell.
Here. Next item is adopting the agenda. If there are corrections or additions to the agenda, if not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Motion by Councilmember Hatfield,
Second.
second by Councilmember Grau. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Tonight under visitor presentation, we're going to be swearing in Fire Chief Stephen Kraus. We had an error. Somehow he got missed and he never really officially got sworn in. So we wanted to make sure that he didn't miss all the fun, even though he tried to avoid it. But so tonight we're.
Yeah, you wonder how it got missed?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So tonight we are going to do the official swearing in of our chief of 3 months or 4?
June 1st, first day.
4?
4 months.
4 months. That's.
I can do that.
If anybody needs to take photos, please feel free to move all the way around council, behind council. I got to get set up here for, wait a second, to get set up for Kevin. You're good?
Let's see. Hold on.
Nobody's looking at you right now, don't worry.
Yeah.
So I just did this.
This will be such a good
a
picture.
couple weeks ago for some firefighters, and they told me that I had to shorten up my thing, so I had to dummy this down for the chief a little bit.
Yes.
Make sure he could repeat after me and not get lost. So we might be here for 20 minutes, I'm not sure, so. All right, I need you to raise your right hand. I, Stephen Kraus,
I, Stephen Kraus,
promise that I will humbly
promise that I will humbly
serve all customers with compassion,
serve all customers with compassion,
sincerity,
sincerity,
kindness, and respect.
kindness, and respect.
I promise that I will,
I promise that I will,
at all times,
at all times,
conduct myself in a manner
conduct myself in a manner
that reflects positively
that reflects positively
on the Chaska Fire Department
on the Chaska Fire Department
and the city of Chaska.
and the city of Chaska.
I promise to follow the policies
I promise to follow the policies
of the Chaska Fire Department,
of the Chaska Fire Department,
uphold the laws and ordinances
uphold the laws and ordinances
of our city,
Of our city,
state, and our nation.
our state, and our nation.
And I will faithfully discharge my duties
And I will faithfully discharge my duties
to the best of my abilities
to the best of my abilities
without hesitation or mental reservation.
without hesitation or mental reservation.
Finally, I promise to be a steward of
Finally, I promise to be a steward of
the legacy of the Chaska Fire Department,
the legacy of the Chaska Fire Department,
honoring the memories
honoring the memories
of all firefighters
of all firefighters
that have served before me.
that have served before me.
Congratulations. We're just going to officially sign this here real quick. And then we got a couple other things we got to take care of. Okay. Now I'd like to invite Stephen's wife, Crystal, and his family, and her family, up to officially do the badge thing.
Pressure's on you now.
Dang it. Let me, I'll do it. I'm definitely not gonna miss out. a lot of pressure.
Awesome, there we go, we got that done. And now we're very fortunate to have our former chief here tonight, Chief Tim Wiebe, presenting Chief Kraus's helmet. So welcome, Chief Wiebe. Great to see you.
Council. Chief Kraus, it's my privilege to present you Chief's helmet.
Thanks, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So here's this, with this, your wife and family get to come up and give us a little speech now. Mr. Kraus, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I guess, thank you. That's first and foremost for the opportunity. Again, I got in trouble a lot today because I was fairly low-key about this, I guess, but it's important. And certainly learned that it's important for the city and for the department itself. And I'm looking forward to many years of getting to know this organization and this city and serving the citizens here. So I do appreciate it very much. Thank you.
And Chief, I know you just talked about that this is important. We talked about it at the swearing in of the 3 firefighters. And you said we're a community fire department and we should be doing this at community events. And that is why we are doing it here at a community event, per your conversation.
Well, sir, it's not fair to use my words against me. But thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Chief. Appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
congrats.
Thank you.
Happy to have you. Anyone else have anything to say? Mom, Dad?
I'm very proud of him.
Potatoes.
Potato? What's that? How you gotta explain yourself?
I like potatoes. No, you don't.
You
Same.
wanna get up and say hi to your girlfriend? There's 1.2 million viewers watching. No? All right. Well, thank you all for coming on, it's a late, big day, but it's still a big day nonetheless. So, thank you for PD for being here as well. Greatly appreciated. So, you're welcome to stay, and I'm sure you won't want to, but you're more than welcome to stay. And again, thank you all for coming. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
So, thanks. Thanks, Dave. Good to see you. Morrissey, I saw you at the town course today, and then I found out it was not you. There's a guy that looks even Kellen says it looks like you. I don't know who he is. Yeah.
Finds he's a better golfer.
I don't know. I yelled at him. I go, hey, Morrissey.
We all thought it was funny.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we got to get back on track. I got to find I have no idea what happened to my agenda.
We're in number 6.
Here we go. All right. Is there anyone else here on our visitor presentation?
Or Dan.
Not seeing anybody. Kevin, anybody online? No. Okay. All right. Next, we will move approving previous meeting minutes. Again, if there are no corrections or additions, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Hatfield,
Second.
second by Councilmember Wong. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Post same sign. Motion carries. Moves us to item 7, which are consent items. Again, these are items that need our approval, but not necessarily conversation, but any can be brought off under discussion. So with that, any further discussion on consent?
No questions, just again, as I do every time, just thank you to the election judges. They do long days and always do an amazing job, so thanks to, it's a big list of folks participating in that, and we appreciate it.
Very valid point. Thank you for bringing that up. They are, I think that really just, they're there. They always have a smiling face. It just, even if you have to wait in line, they come and check on you, how's things going, or have a conversation. So
Yeah.
they do an excellent job, so thank you as well. So with that, is there anyone to be willing to make a motion to accept consent?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember McGraw,
Second.
second by Councilmember Hubbard. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Post same sign. Motion carries, moves us to action. We start off with adopt resolution 2022-115, public assessment hearing and resolution approving the imposition of the service charges for the 2023 Chaska Downtown Special Services District.
Mayor and Councilmember, the item in front of you tonight is one that we take each year at this time to establish a fee for our downtown services district. This is something that does require a public hearing to consider, and then as part of a public hearing, we do provide notices to all the business or all the building owners and businesses that would be impacted through downtown. So I'll turn over to Elise, who can talk a little bit about what the Special Services District is for. And then we have Dan Keyport here to talk on behalf of the Downtown Special Services District and the Business Alliance, who actually go out and implement what these dollars are collected for.
So Mayor and Council, as Matt mentioned, starting in 2014 was the first year that the Special Services District was adopted. Per state statute, it allows cities to adopt these special services districts and allow commercial property owners basically to assess themselves. And by doing that, it creates a pool of funds then that allows for enhanced services and other special amenities that wouldn't be typically offered by the city. So as Matt mentioned, on an annual basis, the council is required to adopt the budget or approve the operating budget, as well as the service charges, which then go on as an assessment. So for 2023, the Chaska Downtown Special Services District is proposing a budget of $58,100, which is the same amount that they have proposed for the last 4 years, so no increase in that. And these funds are used for primarily 5 different items. One is marketing and promotion, and a lot of that focuses on the website that they have, which was linked to in your staff report, as well as social media. And in 2023, their focus really is on what will be happening with the road construction and how do we, work on getting folks downtown and continuing to visit downtown. They also put on a number of special events, so a plug for coming up. They will be doing Halloween trick-or-treating again this year on the 29th of October. And then recently they participated in the Fall Festival, which was on the same day that SRAM was having their festival, as well as GA. Additionally, they put aside money for operations, administration, and then business recruitment and retention. So that's another big area for them. So as Matt mentioned, public hearing notices did go out, as well as the actual charge, the proposed charges for each of those properties about several weeks ago. So given that and the work with the Special Service District and the Chaska Downtown Business Alliance, which I do want to mention that Councilmember Hatfield also attends those meetings on a monthly basis. Staff is recommending holding the public hearing tonight and adopting the resolution in front of you.
Questions?
I didn't see this in there, so forgive me if it is. Did we hear back from anyone when that notice went out?
No, we have not heard from anybody.
I know the president of Downtown Business Council is here, Dan Keyport. Dan, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to say. You're graciously appeared tonight, so.
Thank you. Yes, well, thanks for having me here tonight, and thanks for all your support in the past for this Special Services District. I think for the benefit of anybody that may be watching from home, it might make sense to talk briefly about who this Downtown Business Alliance is and what is the Special Services District. I know this is all old news to you guys, but it might be new information for some people. So the Chaska Downtown Business Alliance was actually a spin-off of the Chaska Area Chamber of Commerce back in the 2008 kind of time frame. We are a 501c6. We're a nonprofit. All of their 8 board members, they're all volunteers. We have 1 paid staff person. That staff person is paid through Special Services District money. I remember back in those early years, when we were working on plans for trying to improve downtown as a business group, someone on the city council told me, well, if you guys really want to make it better around here, you need to get some skin in the game. And I thought, I bet my house in this business. What do you mean skin? But I think that's what this special services district is. So in 2014, 2015, we learned about the special services district, worked with a consultant, worked with the city, went out and canvassed our fellow business and property owners and said, hey, let's tax ourselves. Because if we do, here's what we can accomplish. And it's the marketing and it's the social media platform that's really become pretty well established. It's the events that we do. You know, when we were just a downtown business group, it was all volunteers of people who had their own business and a lot of demands on their time. And it was really hard to get stuff done. With the Special Services District money, we have an administrator. We have boots on the ground, and we're making stuff happen. And it's been really positive. I would say, you know, beyond the marketing and the promotion, the business retention efforts, I think the biggest value that we provide to downtown and to the city is that in the area of communication and relationships. So we have a strong, positive relationship with city staff, and that is tremendously valuable. I think it's the most important thing that we do. We also have developed over the last year really a great working relationship with Park and Rec especially, and there's lots of cool stuff happening, lots on the event side and coordination of efforts around you know, existing events and some brand new events, things like the ice sculptures, which have been a huge hit. So, you know, we don't probably need to get into a lot more detail than that, but I'd be glad to open it up for questions at this stage or if there's anything
Thank
else
you.
you'd
I
like
think,
to know.
I think you're absolutely right. We kind of take this for granted, but you're right. But there are people out there that have no idea what we're talking about. So thank you for kind of giving the quick Special Service Districts 101. Okay. So I think that's important. Does anyone have any questions for Dan?
Yeah, one question. So, I mean, I've sat in some of your meetings and, you know, and I know that, you know, that all the members there are very thoughtful about what to do with the funds here. I know that, you know, you're very deliberate and as frugal as can be, knowing that, you know, these are, you know, valuable dollars, right? Dollars and cents, and, you know, that, you know, the board watches every penny. So, you know, this is not something that, you know, you take it all lightly. So I think there's tremendous value that, you know, you as the business community, you know, as members of the business community really strive to, you know, get out of like every dollar of this. So my question is actually that, you know, knowing that there's so much inflationary pressure, you know, why wouldn't we make an adjustment to this, knowing that, you know, we were going into next year with inflation happening this year to, you know, because effectively that means if you go in with the same dollar value, you're actually getting 10% less from this next year.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that every year we have this debate internally about what's the right budget number for next year. And what it always comes down to is if we're going to go to our fellow business and property owners and say, we need a little more, we need to have a pretty compelling story as to why and what's different and how things have changed. And we looked at I think 3 different scenarios this year, you know, more by this much, or staying the same. And we looked at what we could do with those extra dollars and said, you know what, we really just need to focus this year on keeping it the same. And our big effort this year is really going to be around the disruption caused by road construction in our community. And that is more communication and social media and pop-up events and, you know, and activating the Paseo, you know, helping Park and Rec activate the Paseo when that comes online, which are things that, you know, we can work within our budget to do, and we don't have to raise prices. We'll continue to look at that every year, and as, you know, pricing pressure leans on us, we may have to reach out, but I'm pleased that so far we haven't. You know, just politically, I'm of a mindset of, you know, small government, don't tax unless you have to. And it was a hard pill for me to swallow to vote to tax myself with a new tax, you know, and I think that's true of a lot of people. But I can see where that money's going, and I see we're getting value, and our downtown is, compared to 2008, it's a whole nother thing. I mean, we've gone so far with what we've done with this group, so, and with the help and the support of the city as well, so.
Just to piggyback on that too, one of the things I think Dan's exactly right. A lot of the focus is going to be on that communications side of things.
Yeah.
And we have dollars that are actually built into the 41 project to help supplement that. And so, because we have a responsibility as a city, if we're doing a project, to go in there and make sure that we're, participating in some of this. And so I really think if that's the focus of the efforts, the primary focus of the efforts, there's going to be things that we have dollars already built into our project budget that are going to help supplement that to really get more value out of it.
When you guys host events and, participating businesses, do they have to pay extra to be a participant in the event?
Typically, no.
Okay.
Typically, no. I mean, a lot of times there will be, we'll do events where we'll create some sort of swag or giveaway and then just give them to the businesses so that they can give away as an incentive to purchase or whatnot. There are other events where we ask the businesses if they want to put in a sweepstakes prize, that kind of thing. So, I mean, but effectively, no. I mean, they've already kind of bought their way in.
Well, I just think that's so great because, I think as a business, sometimes when you want to run an event, it can be really expensive. So like you said, pooling your money and resources, it really, knocks down some of the barriers. And some of the businesses that would maybe not be quite, apt to participate or host an event of such a nature would say, well, yeah, that's an easy yes for me since I'm already paying for it, or X, Y, and Z business is doing this as well.
Yeah,
so.
and we'll do stuff in the newspaper, and one of our big challenges is getting businesses to respond. Do you want to be in the ad that we're buying for you? You need to tell us what your special is. And I'm guilty of that too. I know we've got a Halloween giveaway thing coming up, and I haven't sent in my response yet. I need to do that. I'm planning to participate, but you get busy. That's just, again, that's the issue with business owners, is they're busy people. So
You gotta be in front of you waving your hands, yeah. No, I just think that it's such a great benefit. I'm low-key jealous of the Chaska downtown businesses for having this, so.
Yep, and thank you for your leadership too, and to yours and the others on the board, because, it's so important to, not just your own businesses, but your neighboring businesses and your colleagues there in the community, that it makes it such a, vibrant community that, downtown, I look at downtown and Chaska Commons as two sort of different pieces of Chaska, there's there's Chaska Commons, which is sort of that commercial hub, right, where there's a lot of businesses and there's Costco coming and a lot of things that a lot of people shop, but downtown is really special. Downtown is sort of like the heart and soul of the community, right? It's where all our celebrations happen. It's really where like the real quaint mom and pop owned shops are. It's really the place where it's the families gather. It's the place where community comes together. And to retain a vibrant, downtown destination that people want to go to, people want to shop at, is so important. So, thank you for, all of your leadership and, helping to, build more of that and to continue growing that.
Yep, I agree, Dan. Thanks for your leadership. And for those watching, you maybe just saw in the local paper that Dan has sold his business, but he still is the owner of the building. So luckily, we get to keep him on board. I'm not sure on how he feels, but so that's how, even though Dan has sold the business, he's able to stay on and be part of that. So that's great, and congratulations on selling and your next steps. You say you want to travel more, I know, but you've been all over a million countries already now. I don't know what's left, but.
Oh, there's a bunch.
I don't know if you're going to go on that space travel next or what.
That's on my list, so.
Dream big.
Yeah.
Dream big. Just wanted to get that and make sure that people understand why Dan is still part of this after, that was just I think it was just last week's paper, right? Yeah. So, all right.
I'll just say quick if I can.
Yep, absolutely.
I get a front row seat every month to how much this organization cares about the downtown, and I don't think people realize how invaluable sometimes it is. I think the business owners do, but even just the connection that wouldn't exist with the other business owners. So we kind of have a primary group that comes to these meetings, and then some more businesses that are kind of primary participants, but the connections those business owners have that when they come into the meeting, it's not, let's say there's 6 of them there, it's not just those 6 businesses that are representative. So often Steve comes in and says, I was talking blah, blah, blah from this business, and same with Dan. Like, so often, they are such a collective voice of our downtown businesses, and that would not exist in the same way if this didn't exist. And I think about how often we've been sitting in the room talking about whatever road construction, and they've been able to influence my way of thinking on something, and like I can share with them, and I think that's just so amazing to have. And so I feel lucky to get to be in those meetings, but I'm really, really, really glad we have it, so.
Well, and that's that communication piece that I talked about that I think is so important. I mean, just for us to hear what the city's thinking, what they're wondering, and for them to hear what our collective group of businesses are thinking and property owners are thinking, that's, a lot of cities don't have such a
Right.
thing, so.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Thank you, Councilmember Hatfield, for attending. Those are important. We just discussed it there. It's important to have council presence there, and you've been really good about always being at those meetings, so that's greatly apprecited. And we get the
I enjoy it. It's like a highlight of my
feedback
month.
both ways, so it's good.
They're a great group to get to spend time with.
Good. Yeah, now people will be fighting for that.
I know.
shot. Careful what you say.
Yeah.
All right, anything else for Dan? I think this is straightforward. I mean, they're coming forward. We collect it and then give it back. Is that how that works? We collect it? Yeah.
Yeah, we're responsible for spending the money that is raised by that tax.
Yep.
So,
And this is is this 3 or 4 year?
fourth,
Fourth?
isn't it fourth year?
Oh, I think it's,
Oh, no, more than that.
yeah, I was gonna say it's longer than that.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. 'Cause Jeff
2015.
was here when it was starting.
Oh, wow, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it launched in 2015, so it's the 7th year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple years past 4, whatever.
We should have a big party when it hits 10.
And
Yeah.
give or take 10 or so.
Somewhere within the last 10 years. All right, anything else? If not, I would entertain a motion.
It's a public hearing. So you gotta
Oh,
open the
that's
public
right.
hearing. Yeah.
All right, so no more questions, I forgot about that. All right, as Matt said, this is a public hearing. So I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 7:27, and I will ask if there's anyone here to speak. There's no one else in the audience. Kevin, anybody online?
No one online.
Nobody is online. Well, then I will warp forward to 7:28, and I will close the public hearing. And with that, is there someone that wants to make a motion on resolution 2022-114?
I'll make a motion. Sorry.
I'll second that.
Motion by Councilmember Hatfield, second by Councilmember Hubbard, adopting, oh, I was reading the wrong one. That's 2022-115,
Yes.
not 114, sorry.
Amended my second.
All right. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Post same sign. Motion passes. Thanks for being here, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we are at bills already. Wow. Anyone have a question on a bill?
3 questions. I'll keep it short here. Page 2, there's an item for, under Anthony James Orientes. There's a directional drilling, I believe it looks like it's some, wells, I'm assuming.
It's not wells.
It's not wells.
No.
Oh.
No, these are directional borings that we do for electric service.
Oh,
And
okay.
so the ones that are specifically in here is we did a directional bore for, we're putting that dynamic speed sign up on Bavaria Road.
Oh.
So we're changing it from Creek Road, which is no longer really a road, and putting it up on Bavaria Road, where we've had more issues up there. So that was for that, and then we had services for our new apartment buildings too, both the temporary and the permanent borings. So that's all electric department type borings.
Also electric, okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And then page 6, there's an item from Code 4 Services, looks like for police. What is it that we're upfitting or doing?
So we lease our squad cars from Enterprise.
Okay.
And then after we lease them, we have to actually build them up. So you have to put in all the equipment that's in there, so our laptops and all the
Lights
equipment, lights,
Siren.
everything that you need to make it a squad.
Okay, so this is just like the normal, like, rotation of vehicles
Yep.
into and out of our fleet. Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was, something different.
Clarifying question. Have we seen any, is there any issues or concerns, or how to prevent replacement with the whole car industry with, have we had any impact with that where they've communicated that there might be a problem getting a car?
We've had a lot of issues.
how's-
We've had trucks that have taken 12 months to get.
I assume that's the case. I just was
And,
curious.
you know, the squads have actually been okay. Our building inspector cars, we had to wait for months and months and months for those. So, yet most of the vehicles we have now, there's supply chain issues.
I can speak from the Southwest Transit perspective, which actually has a similar problem that we've had. On one hand, we've had vehicles that we said we actually were committing to purchase for, like maintenance vehicles, like maintenance truck. Then he said, okay, you can purchase the truck, but it's on back order. And then it back ordered so far, they said, oh, we can't deliver it this year. So when we had to deliver it and pick it up for this year, it came like almost a year late. But he said, but now it's a 2023, so it actually will cost you more because it's a new model year. We've had another cases where we were actually looking for replacement, just like, vehicles for like some of the Southwest Prime vehicles. And we actually had to change the purchasing ability of our CEO to allow to be able to make a on-demand purchase because, to come back to the Southwest Transit Commission for the approval to purchase, the vehicle would be gone by the time we were able to do that. So there's been problems with that, just because of availability. So it's like, they said, well, you can either buy it today or it'll be gone tomorrow. So, yeah, so it's definitely hitting us on that side too. So I've heard that, just sharing that, because it's the same problem. So the last question I have is, on pages 7 and page 20, it's items from Dakota Supply Group and Stuart Irby, which we usually buy, equipment for electric. But I was trying to understand what like the coding was like. It shows like 2887 equals con UD illum something, right?
Yeah, so it's basically a conduit that we're buying, and it's for different projects that we do. So we've done the boring. This is what actually goes in the boring. So it's bought by project because we end up charging back, like on new services, I believe we charge back 40% of the actual build out for the electric infrastructure to the project, and we take on 60%.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then, of course, that way we also don't have to worry too much about storage because we're buying kind of as we need it for each project. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. That is all I've got.
And I got one on page 16, it was Minnesota Department of Health. It says community water supply, but it was like $18,000. That's
Yes.
not testing, right?
Well, it's the community supply. We have to do a report each year that basically goes out and does the testing on the water, and then we have to basically go out and publish and get that information out to the public. So it's the test, it's the paying the state to actually process that, and then we have to go out and actually advertise that.
Spendy.
Yeah, the good news is in our community, we've never had bad news. And
Well, yeah, that's important.
In some communities, their reports don't look so good. But
Then does that dollar value go up too?
probably not, but then you're just feeling even worse.
Yeah. Then your dollar value will go up because you gotta fix it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else with the bill? Motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Wong,
Second.
second by Councilmember Hatfield. Discussion? Lise?
Councilmember Hatfield?
Yes.
Councilmember Hubbard?
Yes.
Councilmember Wong?
Aye.
Councilmember Gara?
Aye.
Mayor Winchell?
Yes. All right, I think that's it, right? Yep. How about, Councilmember Hubbard, just as you take a big drink.
I knew you were gonna do that to me, so I was just faking it. No, it's me. I don't really have much to report other than, wait, I had one thing. Trail of Fun is coming up. It is on Saturday. It's Saturday this year.
No, not Friday night?
No, not Friday, so that's, it's the 15th of October. One thing I want to note is that they're selling the tickets for admission into the park right now online, or you can call the community center. They're $5 now through October 3rd, so what day is it today?
Third.
Dang,
Have they
okay.
sold out? They always like sell out, like.
Well, I'm not sure about the sellout, but then the hayride tickets
Oh,
are,
maybe those are what sell out.
It's the
are
hayride.
separate
Yeah.
purchase. So there's admission tickets to just get in, and then there's hayride tickets. So I'm not sure the status of the hayride tickets, but I just want to let people know because they go up in price after today, so maybe you can
Yeah, and the reason they do
sweet
is
talk
that
the
we,
community center tomorrow or
the
something.
hayride is like, it's probably, the whole event is probably our highest attended event in the community. I mean, there's
I
a
got my
lot of
tickets.
people.
Yeah.
The hayride is super valuable.
I'm gonna be standing at
Yeah,
the edge of the
StubHub.
parking lot.
Need tickets?
But no, I just want to make mention of it because like you had mentioned, it's very popular. It's a ton of fun. So if you have the opportunity, and it's on a Saturday this year, which is awesome. So come on down or buy a ticket first and then come down. That's all I have.
Councilmember Hatfield.
Yeah, I think that's what I was gonna mention, but also, just as we get into more construction with Highway 41, 61 stuff, the Friday update emails from Bolton and Mink have been super helpful, and you can sign up for those on the project's website. And those have been super helpful, so I just wanna call that out. If anybody wants to keep updated and hasn't done that, that's the best place because it certainly has helped me even feel a lot more in the loop. So that is all I have.
All right, Councilmember Wong.
So on October 13th is the candidate forum for mayoral candidates, and I believe it's here at the council chambers, right? And so I think that there's only one debate or one discussion,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yep,
just-
it's only the one.
Just for mayor.
Yep, so that'll be for 7 to 8 in the city council chambers. And the only other thing is the Halloween Jamboree on October 29th from 4 to 6 in the community center. So,
Awesome.
yep, that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Me? You're the last one left, sunshine.
I am Sunshine Yellow. I lead with Sunshine Yellow from our insights. I'm going to steal this right from the,
Whatever that was.
remember Insights?
Yes, we remember. Go on.
Read over there.
first
I
ones?
gotcha.
The what?
The
That was a
Fursmans, the
very
big,
red thing for me to say too. Yes, go on.
I think I'll steal this right this because it gets asked, and I know it's in the public record because it's in the agenda, but I'll just say it on to the hope is that Costco will open next fall. So I wanted to get that out there. That is, I will agree, that is the number one question if people stop by my office at work and they know that I live in Chaska, they want to ask that question. So I'll like say that. I also say that I've been lucky enough to actually have like a week by week update of the painting of the water tower because my son plays flag football right there. So it's been fun to kind of watch that. And I jokingly said, asked people, did an informal poll at the game if they like the font, and it seems to be approved. So they like the font, so that was good. I think it's been really interesting, truthfully, to watch. Like when they had the big screen down and they were taking that down, and they're like literally on the edge, and you're just like, nope, wouldn't do that job.
All right, fun fact. How tall is the letter? How tall is the letter on the water tower?
25 feet.
19.5 feet.
16 feet.
13 feet tall, the letter is.
So it's not a stencil. I didn't just take a big.
not a stencil,
I didn't take a
no.
big sticker off and try to stick it on.
We
they're
cut it with
actually
my
rolling
Cricut.
it.
We're actually rolling it, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
was watching them as I was coming home.
We were, I actually got a picture tonight, and it's almost done already.
They were doing the K when I left on the
So
other side.
The letter will probably be done. so-
Yep, and they'll probably do
Fill in
the
tomorrow.
inside tomorrow.
What if they ever misspelled one?
What do they do with it? Lasers? How do they?
I've seen pictures of ones
I'm
misspelled,
left-handed.
so it
That would be all
happens.
sorts of crooked on that water tower if you left it up to
That
me.
thing would be going up
It
like
would be
this.
like this,
Oh, we got the lefty this year.
and it would be smeared.
Yeah,
It's fine if
because
you,
your arm's dragging.
it's okay if you just lean a little bit. It looks fine.
And then
So the
other-
font's actually 3 foot bigger than what it was before. I think he said it was 10 foot before.
Yeah, no, it looks nice. It
Yeah.
looks very nice. I like the color logo on there.
It's just too bad it's not in capital letters.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
So lucky I was not here.
You're done, you keep going.
The last comment, because I've actually found, this is actually connected to this, near this space either, but it made me wonder, ask, like, if I don't know the answer, I probably have resources to figure it out, but I'll put it in the public. If in a park space, if like graffiti or inappropriate language ends up on stuff, how should the public like report that to get it removed or updated? Like, what is the fastest and easiest route, or who should that go to?
I mean, it can go to City Hall, and they can just call the front desk and let them know, and we'll get it to the right people. That's probably the easiest one.
So for the record, on the electrical box on by the football fields there is some language that's.
Hey, I'm not the person who does it. No,
The language is on it. But I was curious, because I sat there looking at it there as my son was using the restroom, like,
electrical box where?
it's kind of right by the water tower.
Okay.
It's,
Talking about graffiti, we could add the archery range as well to that list.
I mean, I think it's good, because like people see it, and then they immediately go, oh, that shouldn't be there. I should tell someone, and then you go on and do your own thing, and then you forget. And then or someone says
Especially at
something.
night, because you think, well, you can't call them.
Or you think someone else probably already did it. So I think it's good just to call and get that out there.
Well, and to let people know, we do get rid of that right away, because we don't want people tagging things. It gets worse if you don't do it. We end up spending a lot of money on graffiti removal during the course of the year. Some of it we get reimbursed if somebody's caught. They end up getting restitution that they have to pay, but I'd say that's maybe 5% of what we actually spend on it, that we actually get reimbursed. But it's pretty key to get rid of it right away.
As long as you're adding or add the bridge on Crick Road, the 212 bridge, has graffiti on it as well.
Okay. The road's closed, how do you know that?
I know things.
Okay, Taylor Swift.
And that's all I had.
Because it's been there for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
How's that?
Because you just assumed someone else had reported it, see?
No, I just always forget about it. I don't think, there's nothing, it's just graffiti.
Yeah.
There's no bad language.
Well, the one, yeah.
There's bad language.
There's bad language at Community Park, I'll say that one. So that was, with a lot of kids in that space, that will phonetically say things out loud, that probably should get cleaned up.
All right, you good?
I'm good.
Jake?
No report.
The only thing is, I will keep you informed on whether we'll have the work session on the 17th or not. I don't know. I'll know a lot more at the end of this week, how far we get through it, but we definitely won't have anything on the 31st.
So no trick.
No trick.
So let's, you and I talked about this, maybe update a little bit on 61?
Yep, so 61, you probably noticed the work still hasn't started yet. Continues to be an issue with supplies, getting stuff in, and it's not that they couldn't start with the work. It's the one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to tear up things and have major components that we can't get, and that we do a bunch of work and then all of a sudden has to stop and sit there forever. And there's also the concern about we don't want it not closed up during the winter. So you're going to see them get done what they can with 61, but the major focus for the remainder of this year is going to be getting the paseos done, getting the parking lots completed through the downtown area, as well as all the utilities in the alleyways buried, so that we get that done. Because the commitment we made to the businesses was, when parking gets lost on 41, we want during the construction project on 41 next year to make sure that they have those parking lots and those other off-street places to be able to park their customers. So that's the focus of what we can control, that because we have everything that we need for that. As far as next summer, we're going to make sure, that we're not going to create conflicts with the Highway 61 work where all of a sudden you'd start to create issues with the detours and stuff that we have because of work on 61. Whatever we do will be done so it complements the 41 construction, and with the primary focus of making sure that we keep the traffic open the way that we had communicated it before. But it's becoming very clear that we're not going to get as much done on 61 as we wanted to get done this summer.
Wasn't there, I don't know, refresh my memory, wasn't there something to do with some of the water with that, was it over by the RVs,
Yeah, that was sort of a
wasn't there something that
separate.
really needed to get done
Yeah,
this
that
year?
was sort of a separate and connected project, so.
Ours, yeah.
Yeah, so that work had to get done before the 61 was worked on.
So that's good.
So that's good.
Oh,
And that
okay.
was
We
our,
already did that?
I don't, I mean, I never really ever saw
I
anything.
kept
but-
waiting for that too, and I don't remember seeing anything, but I don't know.
well, there was work going on down there. I don't know if that was it. So but that one, that one is tied into, we need to make sure that when they put the pipe going under 61, that we have that project done so we can connect into that pipe.
Yeah, the trunk line.
Yeah, because it eliminates that.
It
lift
eliminates
station.
that lift station at Arby's. It creates the gravity flow that goes into downtown. But that's our project, and it's mainly more of a timing issue with 61, so that we make sure that we can tie that new line instead of the lift station into what goes underneath 61. But I think that the main takeaway, other than we're not going to get as much done this summer, is that we're not going to allow it to become an issue that complicates the 41 project next summer. That is the priority.
Okay. I thought it was important, update on 61, because I thought you said I thought you said they were working on 61, and so I've been asking about what's happening, and so I felt it was important that we all get the same updates, because I gotta believe others are getting, questions on it.
Well, there is work occurring, but most people aren't seeing it because it's in the alleys.
Yeah.
So,
And
and the downtown project is almost done. They're getting pretty close.
Well, they got 90% of the curb in, so once curb goes in, the rest goes fast.
Yep.
I mean, for streetwise, so, and then you still got all the other stuff, but, another thing, or anything else? Sorry.
Nope.
All right. I got a number of things, some I forgot from earlier in the month, or last month, I mean, but, one, this is Customer Service Week, so Lisa, Matt, and I went around to all their departments today and thanked them for what they do to make Chaska a great place. So we kind of got to go around and take pictures and have a lot of fun with everyone. So that started today, and it's all week, right?
It's all week, yep.
So another Hallmark and Donut made-up holiday. I mean, it's important.
Everybody enjoys a donut.
Yeah, yeah. So, and another thing, we've been talking about downtown business. We had a new business coming in to town. If you haven't noticed, over by Dunkin', Red Savoy Pizza. So, they are, getting their build-out done, so that's encouraging to see, a new business opening up. I see we had a few, close on Main Street, and hopefully they get picked up. It's a tough time with knowing what's happening next year to open a new building, so we might have some gaps there.
There's a couple new ones on Second Street too.
Is there? Oh, yeah, there's gonna
There's
be
a
a
printing
screening place
shop.
going in.
Yeah, printing place.
Yep, so,
And I think, yeah, that's the one that's like officially there right now. I think there's another one coming.
earlier in mid-September, TEL, which is Tokyo Electron Limited out in Jonathan, they became a Beyond the Yellow Ribbon company, which I didn't know that you could, but it's about hiring, putting extra efforts into hiring veterans, working with them at discharge time from their service days, and so it was rather. I had no idea. They just said, "Can you be out here?" And I wished I had known more, because I think we could, and I think we still have the ability that we should maybe do a proclamation for them in doing that. But it was a very big event. I mean, they had Klobuchar came in on it, Phillips came in on it. I mean, telescreen, whatever, teleconference. But they both chimed in, and they put a lot of effort into making that happen. And like I said, I was kind of in the dark about what it was, and so I asked him. I said, "What? I know that company's been around, because I think that's the old Floraware,
FSI.
And
FSI." And he basically said, so you hear about all the chips that we're shortage of? He says, we make the bodies that hold the chips. So, and they talk about how they are looking for people left and right, that there's a good chance that that building will be expanding, moving forward, because they're moving more of their building to this facility. So that'll be interesting. It sounds like they could next year do an addition to their building. So it's very interesting. I couldn't go that day. I didn't know, I had other things in the afternoon. So I'm gonna go out and get a tour next week, I think. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what's happening in there, but it was interesting to see that, and I had no idea about that there was a Beyond Yellow Ribbon company. I mean, I know about cities, but I didn't know that there is that, so. And I had mentioned about John Lenzen passing away, and the one thing that kind of bugged me that I didn't mention, John and his family, when we started looking at the Curling and Event Center about how to make it unique, is we talked about the big Christmas tree. And for anybody that doesn't know, John Lenzen and his family purchased that Christmas tree. And that's just another part of how John has been part of the community for so long, that I failed to say that, and it bugged me, so I wanted to make sure that I was able to get that out.
Yeah, John was one of the original members of the 100 Club.
I think he started it,
Yeah.
or he was certainly behind the group that started.
Well, and he, even up through last year, he was very involved with, with the group and stuff. So, we'll be doing something this year with the event to recognize all the efforts that he put into it, because he did it for 40 years. I mean, a long time.
Yeah. And for, again, anybody, the 100 Club is an organization that helps purchase the Christmas lights for the city. That really is not a city budget item. It comes out of the 100 Club.
It's actually a separate nonprofit organization.
So, and that kind of all ties, that's how John got involved with the Christmas tree and all that, so. All right, and then something about the Latin Food and Music Festival that we just had here a couple weeks ago. I was with Mary Bello, I'm sure most of you know Mary Bello, and she, was talking to her, and some people came up, and they were most of them were from other cities, but they were, again, something I wanted to share is that these folks were so excited about this. The one lady told me it brought goosebumps to her. She says she's never been to any festivity like this before. And another one said, she said, I have never seen any city put on an event as this. So I think it just, sometimes you take these things for granted, when you go to it. But when they were telling me, she was just going, it just brought goosebumps to me when I stand here and watching the fireworks and listening to the music and seeing all the people. So it does mean something when we do these events. So I just wanted to share that as well. This past week, the Mikasa, along with, help me with the soccer team, something United.
Minnesota
Huh?
Minnesota United.
Oh,
Minnesota United, thank you.
Yes.
They had a soccer event up on the turf field where the dome is. But they were out there with all kinds of things, but anyways, there's a Latino radio station out of St. Paul that somehow found out what they were doing, I'm sure probably through Minnesota United. But they're coming out here to interview me, so that'll be interesting. And I don't speak. Yeah. So Mary Hernandez will be translating, and they're going to come here to the council chambers next Wednesday at 2:30. No,
they're going to expect you to speak back in
Wednesday.
Spanish.
Yeah, I know. That's why Mary's there to help me. Because I don't, Spanish, because I always tell them when they come up to me, they did it at the soccer thing. I said, I don't know any Spanish, you guys. Then they laugh at me, so. So anyways, that's Wednesday at 2:30 here, and Kevin's gonna be here, and we'll see what happens. I have no idea what to know. I don't know, that'll be interesting. It'll be fun. Can we talk about Costco, where we're at?
Yeah.
So, when did we do it?
I just mentioned it, that it was opening next fall.
No, but this is about, when did we do it? Last Friday. Last Friday,
Yeah.
Matt, Jake, Vicky, and Denise, we signed all the closing papers. So that, to me, I think is a big deal. And what did it take us? Hours to sign papers?
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot.
so.
Hand cramp.
So, and then officially then, this Friday,
Thursday.
it goes to the courthouse for the official. And then that means that Costco owns the land, and that, in all likelihood, now would start earthwork. So, like I said, everybody we keep getting asked, and we go, yeah, it's soon. This just kind of seals the deal, once that happens. And no problems, Jake, with the,
Well, if anything comes up, we will let you know, but Thursday's the day that we're all kind of circling on the
so in
calendar.
other words, I should stay close to my phone Thursday if there's a paper. We just signed something today, again.
That was something different.
Oh, that's right, that was
Yeah.
something different, yeah. So anyways, it's getting another step closer. We touched on the water tower, 61's updated. Next meeting for us is October 17th. And we already talked about 31st, Halloween, so,
You got to ask Elise.
what's that?
Didn't ask Elise if you.
Did I miss Elise? What do you got?
You don't have anything tonight, you covered it all.
Did I?
She had a huge list, but you knocked
Yeah, you
it all
just
out.
crushed her.
Now you know what it's like when I'm last, and I usually can't. My whole list is
We should
scratched.
all really make sure that Mark can't go next time.
All right. You win. You win. All right, last call for anyone. You sure, Elise? Talk about something. Tell me about something, about how great it was today.
It was so much fun hanging out with the mayor and Matt for 2.5 hours this morning.
I was pretty sure that she'd say it was fun to hang out with me, but no.
We had thank you signs, and she would do cheerleader stuff with them. She was really,
Why were we doing this?
For Customer Service Appreciation Week.
Oh,
Donuts to everybody, and then we went out and just hung out with people and said thank you.
okay, nice.
all right, last call.
I'm just joking, it's not that fun to hang around me.
Was a challenge.
I know.
Thank God Elise was there.
Once a year, I guess.
Yeah, once a year is right. All right, last call, otherwise entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Wong,
Second.
second by Councilmember Hubbard to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Post same sign. We're adjourned, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
I got it. If you're wondering, figured out.